everybody. I'm Tom Vassell, and welcome to Board Game Breakfast Live.
I'm Z Garcia. Hi.
It's July, and we're looking forward to more July.
Oh.
You know what? I'll say this. People used to complain all the time on our show that all we did was talk about the last convention we went to.
Yeah.
And talk about the next convention we're going to. Good news.
In your faces.
Alrighty. Well,
now
I hope
we
you're
just
watching
talk
this.
about sitting around withering away, but games are involved, so that's good.
Speaking of games, if you're watching this live, and I hope you are, you have a chance to win a game. We're talking about Dead Reckoning. This is a game that's on Kickstarter right now from AEG. It was launched just this past Tuesday. It's a swashbuckling 4X game designed by John D. Clare, who you might know from games like Mystic Vale. In fact, this game has a little bit of similarities to that, except it also has a cube tower, which is awesome.
Okay.
And it looks like a ship, the cube tower, multiple paths to victory. I've seen this game. I haven't played it, but I saw it. It's cool. It's piratey. The artwork is from Ian O'Toole, which I know a lot of people really like that sort of thing. And so it's going to be available in English, French, and German. And if you want to enter our contest, you can win a $100 credit. Basically, you're going to be able to use this credit once the backer kit for this goes live, or the web store that they have afterwards. You'll be able to get a whole copy of Dead Reckoning. We have 2 of these. And the contest is available in the United States, Canada, UK, EU, Japan, and Australia. That's almost everywhere. I know it's not almost everywhere, but it's a lot of places.
Yes.
To enter the contest, you just need to email us at contest@dicetower.com. And in the subject line, put the word hook, because all good pirates have a hook. Actually, all bad pirates have a hook. If you're a good pirate, you don't lose your hands.
That's true.
That's right, but a hook. And then in the body, just say what you like about pirates, and then we'll notify the winners.
Do they need to let us know their address?
Nah, because it's credit.
Okay, no problem.
You can tell us your address if you want.
Nope,
Maybe we'll send you a birthday card.
Let us not give in to temptation, Tom, and show up to say hi and play games with me. You know what's funny about pirates? I was just reading a very similar thing you were talking about, where some scholar said that all the famous pirates that we know about were not necessarily the best, most fearsome pirates. The reason we know about them is because they got caught at one point or another. So the absolute best pirates were the ones that never got caught. So in your face, Blackbeard. You hack.
I like my t-shirt here. I'm wearing a t-shirt today, which is a rare thing. You can get these t-shirts. Go to our website. There's a link to get them. And we got them with the different dice guys. And also we have Summer Spectacular t-shirts if you missed out on those. Alrighty. Well, we're going to change a little bit about how this show works. So we're going to start off right away with some contributors. So take it away, Ryan and Bethany.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
From Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
All right, well, today we're going to be talking about Rose Ceremony. So unlike what the title suggests, this game is not about the Bachelor or the Bachelorette, which I was pleasantly surprised by. I was not at all interested in a game about that. But you are giving out these roses, and these roses have thorns on them. What you're trying to do is you are trying to give away cards that have thorns on them and get back cards that only have roses on them. It's kind of got this bluffing element to it. So you give a card to someone, they can choose to accept it, but if they don't, it bounces back to you. So you have to kind of be careful of how you kind of present that. And you're trying to keep the best rose. You're trying to get 5 points. You do that by cashing in all these roses without getting burned by all those thorns.
And it should be said that when you give a card to somebody, it's blind. They don't know what you're giving them.
Right.
So you're choosing to accept it or not to accept it, thinking it might help you, it might not help you. And it's pretty fun. I think this game is just really cute. It is. It's like adorable. And it's really nice. The card art is pretty sleek and it just works. It's really simple, really basic, but that works in its favor.
It's light, it's silly, it's fun. It's hard to strategize because everything's kind of blind, but it's a great bluffing game and it just goes by so fast.
If you can read people, you can strategize.
Yeah.
I cannot.
This is definitely use your poker skills for this one.
Yeah, I don't have any poker skills. All right, everybody, that is our thoughts on Rose Ceremony. If you want to hear our complete thoughts, go ahead and find our video on our YouTube page. We are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. Well, everybody, this is Ryan. I'm Bethany, hoping you have a happy, healthy breakfast.
Bye, everybody.
Guys.
Today is the day of reckoning, where we go into enemy territory. Get ready, men. We're going to visit the Bosch. Undaunted Normandie, a game by Trevor Benjamin and David Thompson, winner of War Game of the Year. 108 cards, 18 map tiles, 4 dice, 85 tokens, and the all-important scenario booklet. In this booklet, this is what life is gonna be for the next year. So let me show you how to set up the cards. If you go to your left, you'll see under card, Platoon Sergeant. Go to your right, you'll see US and then a D. D means deck. This card goes in your deck. Now, Platoon Guide, you don't get any. Squad Leader and Squad Leader B, go to your right, goes in your deck. Now, if you go further down, Rifleman A, 1 Rifleman A goes in your deck, 4 other go in your supply deck. And that supply deck is open face in front of you, so the other guy can see it too. That's called intel. And this is what your supply deck should look like. And this is what your deck should look like. So this game is a serious war game, because you're going into Normandy. But it's easy! Man, the guy's a genius. He's taking war game elements and bringing it into the Euro game element, and it's a deck builder, but you're moving from tile to tile. There's not even line of sight. Look, if the guy's 3 tiles away, there's modifiers, and that's it. The line of sight is built in. The guy's a genius! Okay, this line of sight thing. You know what line of sight means? If you can see him, you can shoot him! If you can't, well, what are you shooting at? So that's non-line of sight, meaning that you can't see him. So you're just wasting bullets and shooting in the dark. Here, there's no line of sight. Modifiers are taken into consideration in terms of line of sight. So, if you're going through the forest, trying to shoot through the forest, well, maybe you see a glimpse of him a little bit, but you're not gonna get him! So your line of sight is skewed! Genius. War game, deck builder, Euro game, game of the year in war games. I mean, come on. You want to start a war game? Try this game. Trust me. Give it a shot. And men, the only Nazi we want to see is a dead Nazi.
Welcome to Survey Says, where we survey you listeners and we discuss the results. We're the Board Game Weekenders. I'm Colby.
And I'm Steven. In this week's episode, we asked, which player count do you prefer best?
When you look at our results, we have 3 and 4 players are the highest count. And in the way that I viewed this question, which player count do you prefer the best, as in like an ideal scenario, whatever game you wanted, however many players, like what would you prefer playing with? And so 3 would be my answer as well. I really enjoy 3 and 4 players.
I think so many games just work with those numbers too, that it just tends to those being the ones. But 3, it's just so snappy. Like it's just the right amount of time that you have enough to think about on your turn, and then it's right back to your turn. So you always feel like you're engaged the whole time, I feel like.
Right. And for games that have an area control mechanism, that 4th is helpful to balance out, you know, like powers or players in the game.
I was surprised solo wasn't up a little bit higher, you know, especially during now. I feel like more people might be inclined to try, you know, solo modes and different things. And I know that audience is out there, you know, in every Kickstarter now there's a solo mode. So it's still nice that they support, you know, the groups of people that do play solo.
Yeah, and 2 players works really well for couples. So we might see if couples play together a lot, they will prefer that player count. Thanks for checking out this week's episode. Let us know your thoughts on the results in the comments below.
Look out for next week's survey on Twitter at BG Weekenders, and make sure to tune in to next episode of Survey Says.
Hey, alrighty. Thank you, everybody. Let's jump now into some news. So first of all, there's a new board game documentary that's available on iTunes as of Tuesday, I think, called Game Master. Now, I've received an early copy of this and watched most of it. I really like it. Be forewarned, though, that I am in part of it. They did interview me at Gen Con to the point where I barely remember doing the interview. It's been at least a couple years, but so there's that negative part to this documentary. But the rest of it's quite good. Talking to various designers and different people, I thought it was filmed really well. And I like the cover of this. That's a good cover. I think it's a catchy one that people will come and look at. And it's like Z made the word game.
I made the word game? Why?
Yeah, because we got to figure out what those are all from now. So G is from.
Yeah, I made the letter, the words, the letters in the word game, but you made the film, the documentary. You are iTunes famous now, Tom. You can leave the world of board games behind.
I think this would ever actually matter. Like if somebody who knows me outside of gaming, if they ever email me, I saw you in some documentary. That's when it will matter, like to that end, I guess.
If they're surprised by you being into games and showing up in this, then they're really not keeping up with you. You know what I mean?
Sure. Alrighty.
They don't love you.
We're now starting to see some of the Gen Cons, the stuff that would have been released at Gen Con being announced. So every year, DVGOG for the last several years has released a couple of new deckscapes. And so here they are. Escape from Alcatraz and The Gaze of the Ghost. I love that name. The Gaze of the Ghost, which does not look like the Phantom of the Opera at all.
So one of these is from the series Detective, which is slightly different from Deckscape, right, Tom? I haven't played this one.
That's right. I gave you Detective, didn't I?
You sure did, buddy. It's in a box out there. I'll get around to it.
Got it. Yeah, so I like Detective. It actually it's a very different style of. It's still like it's not an escape room. It's more like a solve a mystery. It's closer to like Sherlock Holmes in a box, I think.
Yeah, but these are from the same designers, both of them, and they are self-contained, small boxes. They're replayable, if I'm not mistaken. You can pass it along to someone else, and they can play it, right, Tom?
Yes, both of them are that way.
So that's cool. I'm always happy to see more Deckscape. I really like that series.
All right, then this is apparently a very big deal. Arcane Wonders has this Hello Neighbor, the Secret Neighbor party game. Now, when they first told me about this, I was kind of like, eh? But apparently the Secret Neighbor party game is a pretty big online or a video game or something to that effect.
You don't know about Hello Neighbor?
Do you?
Barely. I've seen the cover.
I like the art of it. I like the
creeper. It's like some creepy neighbor, I think. Right,
and as kids, apparently it's going to be kind of a werewolf style game, and you're trying to figure out who the neighbors are. You got to use these items and give them out, but you don't want to give an item to a neighbor. Someone. It sounds interesting. I'm looking forward to trying this one out. This is coming out. A few of them will be at Gen Con, and the rest coming out in October.
Okay, that's cool. And obviously it'll have a bigger appeal to those that actually know the video games. There's a few video games.
All right, GOG Unite II, I believe I might be pronouncing that. They have signed a distribution deal with Asmodee USA Distribution. They're probably best known for Kingsburg and letters from Whitechapel. So this isn't something new. They originally did Kingsburg with Fantasy Flight way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see here we're showing Smiles and Daggers. They did Barbarians, Royal Wedding. guilds. But I've played a lot of their games. Some of their games are but Kingsburg is fantastic, and a lot of people are huge fans of Letters of Whitechapel. So then Smiles and Daggers is a new one that's been nominated, and it seems like you are almost like you're just playing cards trying to outguess everybody else.
All right, cool. I like the cover.
Rio Grande has announced the next title in its Winsome Games reprint line. So they're doing them, and then, of course, Capstone's doing some. This one is Southern Rails. This one is from John Bauer, although he uses the pseudonym Harry Wu. It's another train game. I don't mean to be so oblique about it, but, you know, it's connecting trains, and I don't know enough about this. I mean, even when I read the description, I was like, sounds like lots of other train games. And maybe it is, you know, but...
Yeah, these seem to be making, I don't want to say a comeback because they were never gone, but, you know, getting picked up by Rio Grande and published. I don't know. I guess I would call that something of a resurgence at the very least. It's interesting that a bunch of these are coming out, like you said, from Rio Grande and also from Winsome Games. I'm sorry, from what's the other company that's putting them out?
Rio Grande and Winsome. Oh, Capstone.
Capstone, yeah.
Yeah, there is like a resurgence in trains games, so that's good for people who like train games.
Yeah, that's neat.
All right. Spoiled on the internet this week was Pandemic Legacy Season 0. It was posted. Someone found a picture at a store somewhere. And then, they posted a trailer which showed practically nothing. The main takeaway here is that it's Season 0. So I had been under the impression it would be Season 3.
Right.
But Season 0, so I guess, I mean, looking at the picture, it happens before nowadays. So more information about this will be coming, they said, before the end of July. So there we go. Yes, exciting for sure.
All right.
Excalibur.
Now this is what I've been waiting for.
not Pandemic Legacy Season 0, but Excalibur. Amigo has made so many Bonanza games, I can't keep them all straight. I know there's Bonanza, and Bonanza the board game. Then there's Night of the Bon. And
oh gosh, it's so many. You don't even try. There's
but
at
when
least
I see one, I don't even know. Like,
20.
Is it compatible with Bonanza? Is it? You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. It's funny how like those usual rules of make your game clear if it's a spin-off or a standalone expansion or just an expansion. Amigo with these games just like shut up and buy it, figure it out. You know what I mean? They all just look like they could be expansions or their own games or who knows.
This one apparently is just like Bonanza, except the beans have special magic powers with them. So you have special abilities. Okay. So it is Bonanza again. I don't know. But I do like the name, Excalibur. So.
Great.
All right. Amigo did Carnival of Monsters at Gen Con last year. That was from Richard Garfield. And it was a game about collecting monsters and displaying them in some sort of menagerie. And not like steampunk, but fantasy-ish world. So now they're expanding that world. And so now there's a game from Alexander Pfister called Monster Expedition. This is, again, one of these weird things to me that they're expanding a world that I didn't know existed, really. Like, the original one was catching monsters, and they got all these famous painters and stuff to do these monsters, but they looked, at least in the first game, like typical fantasy monsters. So I didn't know this was a world, but whatever. Maybe they're reusing the art.
That cover is really not doing anything for me. I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
I hope it's good.
That boring wood grain background is terrible. I'm not liking that at all. This game looks old before it's out. You know what I mean? To me.
Maybe. We'll see. I like Pfister's stuff, though.
Yeah.
In big news, Lord of the Rings is coming back from Fantasy Flight. They've announced the 20th anniversary edition of this game, which was the first major co-op game that exists. There's been a lot of educational co-op games over the years, but Lord of the Rings changed the scene. Now, you could argue that a couple games like Shadows over Camelot and or Pandemic have become more widely known, or more modern stuff. But Lord of the Rings was the first, and there was 3 expansions for it, I think, or maybe just 2.
There were at least 2.
It was at least 2, and yeah. So they're upgrading to pieces. So you can see there's like a ring base you can put the miniature into. They have miniatures instead of standees from the original game. The game is essentially flipping cards.
The original game is technically the cheap reprint of the game. I should mention that. So the version I have is the original printing, which had miniatures, which had a resin eye of Sauron.
You're right.
Had these gorgeous pieces. Then they reprinted in a smaller Silverline edition with these cardboard standees, like a cheap cardboard ring. And now they're doing an anniversary edition in which they're sort of souping it up again. It does not look anything like the one I have, the original one. But it looks much nicer than the readily available one.
That's almost... I guess that's not false advertising. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's interesting.
No, I mean, the old one, they're saying, yes, the available one is cheaper. I assume the price of this is going up as well, because the pieces are going to be nicer. So I don't know. I am curious, to be honest. I skipped that middle one, the cardboard standee one. I never had a need to look at it or have it. But I'm curious to see this new one. And I'll be able to, if we get a copy of this, Tom, I'll be able to then compare it to the very first one, because I'll have both side by side. So.
Interesting enough, the thing that's fascinating about this to me is on the front cover, you can see there it says over 850,000 sold, which means we're pretty close to that exact number. Otherwise, they would have, they would have said 900, if they had got to that 850. But that's still a lot of games. Like almost no games sell 850,000 copies. So
wild, I know. I did not realize that was such a big seller. Very cool.
Yeah. Alrighty, Undaunted has a new thing coming out, reinforcements. So they already did Undaunted Normandie and then Undaunted North Africa. And now there's an expansion, and I think this expansion is for both games.
Okay.
So now this isn't coming out to August 2021. In fact, I'm hoping to get the Undaunted. I played Undaunted. I haven't played the new one yet. I want to do both of those, and I'll be reviewing them on the channel soon. But I don't mind that I'm not always a huge fan of expansions for multiple games, but Undaunted feels like the type of game that if you have one, you have both.
Yeah, and I assume the pieces work in both, so it's not like you have content you cannot use.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what I mean?
I'd have to
That's
look
what
and see how it
bothers
works.
me about it when they put content together. You separate it out to divvy it out to the games that it goes to, and you go, okay, well, these 10 cards, I don't own that game, so this is garbage to me. I'm assuming this just plugs into either game or both, and then you won't feel that way.
Well, it's like I said, still a year away, so anything, we'll get more news as time goes by.
More Cthulhu. Ideally, more Cthulhu is what we want.
Alrighty, we have Llama Party Edition.
Finally! More
What's that?
Cthulhu!
That's almost that 40 years Amigo thing makes it seem like the game. I know that's Amigo's been around for 40 years. It almost makes it seem like this Llama's that old of a game. It's not.
It could be, Tom. It could be. Have you played it?
Llama?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just saying, if they said this is the 40th anniversary of when Llama was designed, I would not be surprised. Let's put it that way.
You could say that sort of thing. All right.
I saw that they added a new card and a couple of they make it splashier, a little bit sillier, a little bit splashier. They have these chips now that are worth a bunch of negative points. It sounds kookier than the original, and if that's what the game was good at in the first place, then this sounds like a better edition.
In news I was not expecting, Fantasy Flight announced an expansion for Civilization: A New Dawn, Terra Incognita expansion. The reason this was surprising to me is I didn't realize this game was that popular. But it is ranked in the top 1,000 games on Board Game Geek. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was amazing. I thought it was more mechanical than like the Civ theme is, to me, barely there. It's just a mechanical thing of moving cards around. But apparently this fixes some of the things that people complained. I don't know what they were. And adds more stuff. You could go watch a video.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I don't know what I was saying now.
You can go watch a video about them explaining it, introducing it, I assume?
Sure.
Yeah, this I'm very surprised because I thought this game was done. I did not even realize they were still supporting this game or had the license to it anymore. This seemed like a once and done kind of product from FFG, which is, they've done before. You can tell, usually. So I'm very surprised. Plus, the time between the original release of this and an expansion is very it's large. It's monumental. It's a long time. So, color me very surprised as well.
Yeah. All right. Finally, in the news, Golden Bell Games, or Golden Bell Studios, has started their own Kickstarter website. It's called thegrowingtreehouse.com. This is very early on. I went there and looked, and it's just a bunch of toys mostly. Stuff based on Lost. And they have all these licensed products they say are coming. This has caused some controversy because Golden Bell Studios is one of the most controversial publishers in existence currently. There's so much backlash on them on Kickstarter. So I haven't dealt with them personally pretty much on anything. So I can't speak for or against that, but there's plenty of information on the net about this. I don't think something like this can succeed because Kickstarter exists. So why would I not use Kickstarter? I mean, and if I don't like Kickstarter, then I got, other opportunities that exist already too.
So they're starting a Kickstarter competitor, basically, right? That's
yes.
What this is?
I don't know that they are allowed to use Kickstarter anymore. So maybe there's that.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, I can't speak for or against this company, but there's plenty of information. Just search for Golden Bell Studios, and you can find it on the internet for sure.
All right.
Alrighty. Well, that is all the news. Let's keep going.
So, I'm not really sure how to start this conversation. First off, I just want to let you know this is not about you. This is really about me, and I take a big part in what's happened here. And I just want to let you know that things are going to work out for you in the end, And I'm really sorry to see you go, but I think it's time, I think it's time. You've been chosen today. Your grandeur will surely make me regret leaving you on the shelf for so long. Featured this week, we have Ascension Tactics from Stoneblade Entertainment, where 1 to 4 duelists slug it out for 90 minutes in the Ascension universe. Like peanut butter and chocolate, Ascension Tactics is the perfect pairing for that gamer that loves deck building and tactical board games. For just $99, you can finally command your army of favorite Ascension heroes. But if you like your heroes with just a tiny touch of scurvy, then check out Dead Reckoning from AEG, where 1 to 4 pirates sail toward adventure in a card crafting 4X game that takes 90 to 150 minutes. Finally, you get to explore, expand, extract, exterminate while being seasick. $79 will get you all the open sea battles you could possibly want, but you still have to supply your own parrot. Speaking of sinking ships, we also have Perseverance Castaway Chronicles from Mind Clash Games, where 1 to 4 survivors try to stay alive on an island full of dinosaurs for 80 to 180 minutes. Just imagine crashing into a tropical island where your only weapon are dice drafting and dice placement. $95 gets you 2 standalone games that can be combined into a chronicle for the ages. But maybe you're tired of battles and trying to survive, so instead you set out for adventure in the Relics of Raja Vihara from Crazy Like a Box, where one adventurer tries to stop the devious plot for 15 to 60 minutes as you explore dangerous ruins, moving objects to stop your nemesis and get the treasure. $32 will get you 50 unique levels of puzzly goodness in this game. Thanks so much for joining me this week. If you want to know more about any of the Kickstarters that you saw here today, then join me at gloryhound.com as we will talk about all of these Kickstarters in depth and if we would back them or not. It is a live show, so you guys get to participate with us directly in the comments and tell us what you think about these Kickstarters. Other than that, I will see all of your lovely faces next week.
A game that's multiplayer solitaire is one in which the players are collectively playing the same game, but what they are doing on their turns doesn't necessarily affect what the other players are doing. So this is going to be a game, I know Uwe Rosenberg has a lot of games like this, kind of Euro kind of games where you're just kind of building your own little engine or tableau. You might just be taking these cards and putting this here, and whatever you do is not really going to affect other players. Roll and write games do this a lot. If you're one of those kind of bingo style games where somebody draws a card or rolls some dice and then everybody does it at the same time. Space has a little bit of that. You're going to roll the dice and then everybody kind of does their own thing on their board. There's a little bit of interaction when it comes to like the market drawing cards, but really this doesn't have a ton of player interaction, so it could be said to be multiplayer solitaire.
Yeah, it looked like a little fuzzball. Maybe it was a white hair. What's the matter, Roy?
So
Same time. Space has a little bit of that. You're going to roll the dice and then everybody kind of does their own thing on their board. There's a little bit of interaction when it comes to like the market drawing cards, but really this doesn't have a ton of player interaction, so it could be said to be multiplayer solitaire. A game with a lot of player interaction, on the other hand, is one where the decisions and actions of players are going to interact a lot. What I do is going to affect what you do. It might affect what you do. Games with auctions, games with negotiation, games with card drafting, worker placement games have a lot of kind of indirect player interaction where I'm going to go here, but that blocks what you're doing. You're not necessarily directly hurting me, you're doing something that's benefiting you, but it indirectly is going to affect them. So there is player interaction there. Games with a lot of conflict, area majority, area control, moving things on a map and attacking, risk style, those kind of things. That would be a game with a lot of player interaction. That's it.
Hey everyone! Today on the Plastic Canvas I'm going to show you a cheap alternative to Sterling Mud and other similar products that are usually used for basing. Hey everyone, Matt here from the Plastic Canvas, and today I'm going to show all of the miniature painters out there a cheaper alternative to Sterling Mud. It's this Citadel product that you can see here that has a dark brown colour to it. It's quite thick but still malleable, and it is a widely used texture paint to create a thick mud-like effect when basing. So you can see here I used it with the Four Dweller from Tainted Grail. There's a couple of patches on either side, and I also stuck some rocks into it just so that when it dries it would lock them in. I used it here with the Formless Spawn from Mansions of Madness as well, smooshed it up against its feet. I also gave that a dry brush there just to bring out the texture a little bit, but you can also paint it, and I used it here with these guys from Zombicide Invader, put it down all over the base, put some extra rocks in as well, and then painted it with a mixture between red and orange to give it that Mars-like surface finish. And this here is gap filler. This is what I found as a really, really good substitute for it. I just bought this from the local hardware store, and you can see it is smooth, but it does still have a good bit of thickness to it and some grit to it, so it does give a really similar effect to the Sterling Mud when it's dried. And you can see that here because the Sterling Mud is the one on the right, and then the gap filler is on the left. It's been painted brown and then finished with a brown wash. But considering that the Sterling Mud is, for me, $10 for a 24mm pot, and the gap filler is only $14 for 400 mils, value for money, the gap filler is way ahead. So So just to finish this video off, there's just going to be a couple of clips of me using the gap filler alongside some other basing materials just to base the Imperial officer here from Star Wars Imperial Assault. But I just wanted to use this video to pass on what I'd found with the gap filler and how good of a substitute it is for Sterling Mud or any other miniature branded ground coverage, because this stuff is just so much cheaper and I think it does a really, really good job. But if you'd like to see me painting some minis, you can head over to my channel, The Plastic Canvas, where I paint minis from different board games, and I hope you enjoy your breakfast.
All right.
That's what I think about that.
I think I'm good for fuzzballs. Tom, I'm still good, right?
Yeah.
You had a fuzzball in the beard, baby. This glorious man sometimes is a fuzzball magnet. Anyway, welcome back to 20 Questions, everybody. This is the 20 letters edition of 20 Questions. Be quiet, Siri. I ain't talking to you right now.
Hey, Siri, what's he doing?
Shh. Woman, be quiet. She's betraying me. All right, Tom, you've got your 20 letters. We are, of course, skipping Q, U, V, X, Y, Z. Okay? Those are the slightly rarer ones. So you're going to try to guess 5 games. I've got 5 games laid out here for you. You're going to pick a letter. I'm going to tell you what it means, and then I'll tell you the bit for that game. Now, you can bank one letter after you hear what it stands for. You can bank it, come back to it later on. You can only ever have one banked at a time. And you are going to be able to guess 3 times per game. If after the 3rd guess, which you can do whenever, you don't get it, we're moving on to the next game and you don't get that one. So again, 5 games. Audience should definitely be helping you out. I'm expecting you to get all these. You did last time. But let's go ahead and dive right in with our first one. Tom, pick a letter for me.
All right. I'm going to start with T for Tom.
T stands for, appropriately enough, Tom's rating, if
really?
You've rated it.
Ooh.
Would you like to hear it?
I would.
Tom, for this first game, you rated it a 7.5.
Oh, come on. That's my very middle of the road rating. All right.
Sorry.
We're just going to spell my name out. H.
H is how to set up the game. I'm going to give you one moment from these setup rules. One line, one instance of something in these setup rules.
Yeah, I'll take that. I like that.
Here we go. It says, place the bounty deck near the government facility.
Okay, let me think here. I'm just going to talk out loud for a bit here. I don't think it could be Firefly because I wouldn't have rated Firefly a 7.5. I haven't played Star Wars Outer Rim. I know what it is. I don't know the name of the game. We just talked about it yesterday. Oh, well, I'm gonna have to go to you, YouTube chat. It's that worm game, the sandworm game, the from Renegade Games. That's about sandworms. Terror Below. Terror Below. That's my guess. Thank you, Jerry.
What game?
Terror Below.
That's right. Terror Below is your first one, Tom. We're moving on.
Actually, the rating helped there because I would have guessed Firefly.
Of course it helped. Everything helps. All right, so T and H are off the table. Come back to those letters. You cross them off. We're on to the second game. Go ahead.
All right. Continuing to spell my name. O.
Stands for original release date. Would you like to hear the year this came out?
Oh, yeah, sure. That really narrows it down.
This came out in the year 2010.
Ooh, we just did a top 10 on 2010. Ooh. Okay, I'm all up on that year. All right. We're at M then.
M stands for mechanisms, in which I tell you one central mechanism in the game. Would you like it?
No, I'm going to bank that one because I think I might need that later, like as an emergency.
All right, we are banking M. M is in the bank. Pick something else, please.
A
stands for ages suggested on the box. And you have to hear it because you have something in the bank.
All right, no worries.
And the ages suggested is 14 plus.
I don't know if that helps an awful lot here, but
they can't all be winners, all right? Some of them are not going to help.
No. I think for this, the ages could be very helpful. It's just that some companies put 14. 2000. All right, let's go to S.
S stands for starting blurb. This is something on the some sentence from the starting introductory blurb on the game's theme, what you're doing in it, that sort of thing. You have something banked, so you have to hear this. It says, if one of the players achieves his objective before the 8th turn, the game ends immediately.
Nah, that doesn't help. All right, continuing to my middle name, J.
This is so weird. J is juxt my position, in which I say something kind of negative about this game, even though I own this game. Hence, juxtaposition, also juxt my position. Get it?
That's I will allow it, Judge.
Thank you. Here's what I said. I'll stick with the original.
2010. So this is an original game that came out in 2010. But you may not actually believe what you just said.
I believe it. I believe them all. I'm saying something negative, even though I own the game. That's what it is. That's
okay. What game came out in 2010 that has another Ooh, this is a good clue. Good clue. So we know that if someone meets their objective before 8 rounds, it's over. And the original release date is 2010. It's 14 plus, and Z says the original is better. Man, I got the first one on 2, so that gives me 6 for this one. I'll do another letter.
Go for it. Don't forget, you have bank.
I know. I don't want to use that yet. I'm gonna jump to E.
E is expected expense. I went over to Amazon.com. I punched in the name, and this is the amounts that came up to buy it right now. And the amount is $14.99.
Ooh, that's a good clue. That is a good clue. So it's got to be a card game. Possibly with goals.
It's too tricky. It's too tricky. Don't forget, you do have 3 guesses for this.
I know. It seems too cheap. I don't know when that game came out, so I'm not looking anything up here, folks, and you should not either. You got to get
the audience can help you from their memory, all right? Guys, don't ruin this by Googling things, okay? Or by going to BGG. You can easily win if you do that.
No, that came out too early. All right, I'm going to say... Did that come out then? I don't think that meets the all your objectives by turn 8. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll say Mr. Jack.
That is wrong.
Okay. Alrighty, let's go to B as in baloney.
B stands for box size, in which I'll describe the box size to you.
Go ahead.
It is fairly small. It is smaller on all sides than my palm is long. You have let people know apparently that your middle name is Jeb? Thomas?
No.
Jeb.
I'm done with my middle. I'm done with my name.
I'm
I
sorry.
just went to B.
I'm sorry.
I did Thomas
As far as
J,
the
and I'm
world
done.
knows, your name is Thomas Jeb Vassal.
I'm just picking letters now.
Are you crossing out the ones you're...
Oh, that's good. No, I wouldn't have... This is not my rating for this. No, my rating was for the first one. Okay, I'll guess Onirim.
That is not correct. You have now guessed Mr. Jack, and you have guessed Onirim. You have one more guess. Would you like another letter? You are crossing out the letters you're using, yes?
Well, I'm writing down the clues, so yes.
All right, well, I have them anyway.
Fine, I'm going to unbank my mechanisms. I wanted to say... No, I'm not. I'm saving it. Oh, hang on. I just dropped my pencil, and it rolled under the desk.
Nervous much?
I have a backup. W.
W stands for words in the title.
Oh, okay.
3.
Technically, hang on. Technically, that should be N for number of words in the title, but...
Shut up.
All right, people keep saying this. I don't think it's right, though, because I don't think there's 2 versions of it, but maybe I'm wrong. And
you got one guess left. Only one guess. You will not get a perfect score if you bust this, and then I will.
Mr. Jack Pocket.
Huh?
Mr. Jack Pocket.
That's right, baby. Ooh!
Is there more than one?
What do you mean more than one?
You said I like the original. Oh, the original. Ah!
Ah! You suck. The original Mr. Jack, you dorcas.
Oh, it's up on that.
Oh, that tasty soul sandwich I'm gonna have.
There we go. I would have got this one if I had waited for my rating on this one. What is my rating on this one? You have it down there anyway.
4.
Yeah, 4. And that's me feeling in a good mood. I might change that to a 3. Anyhow, all right. So we got.
All right, Tom. We are on to the third game. You have used quite a few letters already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 letters out of 20. And you just hit the middle game, the third game out of 5.
Yeah, I'm a little off here. That one took a little long, and I apologize to those who said Mr. Jack Pocket earlier. because I was thrown off by that original clue. All right, let's make another word up here. I got to make a word up that uses some of these. I've used all the vowels, though.
I don't think you've used all the vowels.
No, I haven't used
I.
Okay.
You is not in it.
Not in this. All right, F.
F
Try to guess
stands
the word I'm
for.
spelling.
Oh, jeez. F stands for fans be like. This is a section in BGG where they tell you if you like this game, you'll like these other games. And I wrote down the first 2 suggestions. All right. So here's what they're saying you'll like if you like this game: Underwater Cities, Maracaibo. All right. Don't forget you have M in the bank if you want to pull it out of there.
Unbanking M.
Very well.
Unbanking M.
M is coming out of the bank. M stands for mechanisms, and the main mechanism in this game is tile placement. And you have your bank spot available once again.
All right, folks. So maybe we can get it from 2 clues here. So we have, if you like Maracaibo and Underwater Cities, and this has tile.
That's what BGG says, mind you.
And this came out. Oh, we don't know the year. Tile placement, Underwater Cities, and Maracaibo. Those would be after Western Legends. Although I don't know if that's considered tile placement. Although you do put tiles out in it. So since we don't have a lot to go on, I'm just gonna say. Oh wait. Yeah, I'm gonna say Western Legends.
That is incorrect.
Okay. I have a good second guess though, and so let's. What's my word? I start with F. There's no U. All right, L.
What is wrong with you? L stands for look at those colors, in which I'll describe the colors on the cover to you using actual words. You ready?
I'm ready.
Or would you like to bank it?
No. If this meets my second clue, my second guess, I have it.
Very well. The cover is largely green with a good splash of blue.
Okay, never mind. Oh, okay. Largely green with a good splash of blue.
Don't read into that too much. Calm down.
I'm not reading into it. I'm reading the comments.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 letters used. All right. What are the comments saying? Tom, what are you getting?
That's a good guess. I'm going to guess this one, even if it's wrong.
Okay, hold on. All right. Go ahead.
Glenmore.
That is incorrect. You really, and you know what?
I'm going to say Glenmore too.
Specific. Yeah, okay. I'm going to give it to you, but you got to be more specific. I already got you with Mr. Jack Pocket. I get you again. I don't care. I got no issues with eating that soap.
I didn't know you had Glenmore too. That's the thing.
Glenmore 2, baby.
Have you played it yet?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good.
All right, Tom, you got the third game. You are on a roll, my friend.
All right, so I did FLI is next.
Fly like a Dorcas.
It's fly.
Fly like a Dorcas in the fly sky. Very well. I stands for irate comment, in which I find some nasty comment on BGG and I read it to you.
This is already my favorite one.
Here we go. It says, simultaneously boring and chaotic. Nothing about this makes me want to play this over hearts.
Ooh, that's a great comment. That gives us a lot of information. All right, C.
C is categories on BGG, in which I tell you the main category for this game.
I'm going to bank it.
Very well. We are banking C.
I think I know the category, so that would be kind of a waste.
Good.
All right.
Good.
K.
K is crazy talk, in which I say the title backwards.
Got it.
Here we go.
Are these pre-recorded or are you doing it now?
They are, of course. Here it is again. And here it is again. Did you hear it?
One more time.
I can do it again if you want. I don't care. Here it is.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
All right. That was K. And you have spelled lick like a small child.
Oh, flick.
Well, if you take the F away, it says lick.
Flick, like a flicking game. And I was really hoping that it would be a flicking game, but then I realized I don't think you own any of those.
Flicking games. I love flicking games.
How many have I guessed in this? I haven't guessed in this one at all yet. All right, so we'll start off with diamonds.
It is not diamonds.
Okay, I didn't think it was because that didn't sound like diamonds backwards, but all right. Let's see. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters left plus a bank letter for 6. All right, I'll spend one more on this one, and then we're going to hope for the best.
All right.
I can't make a word with any of these, so I'm just going to pick random letters that can be words.
Okay.
So P.
P. P is publisher.
Ooh, I like that. I like
That's
that a lot.
pretty good, isn't it?
That is good.
I think you're about to get it, Tom. You have C in the bank already. The publisher for this is Restoration Games.
Oh, that's right. All right.
No looking at the comments because they'll give it to you immediately. I can't believe this is taking this long.
No, I'm listening to you. I'm trying to think of you saying it backwards.
If you don't know what it is yet, the comments will give it to you.
No. I'm saying indulgence. But that's my guess, indulgence.
What? Jerk. It is indulgence.
Play it backwards again.
It's definitely indulgence.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is. That I was listening to the N at the end, and it didn't occur to me that there's an I before it. That's good. That's good. I like that. All right. We're going to start this first one out for the last category by bringing C out of the bank.
All right. C is coming back out of the bank. C stands for categories on BGG, and it is deduction.
Ooh, great. I'm glad I held off on that one. So deduction starts with a D, so let's just go right to D.
All right, it is D stands for designer's initials. Just the initials.
Got it.
There are 2 of them, HD and RV.
Well, one's a car.
Yes, a recreational vehicle, yes. And the other one's a human. Human designer.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm just going to get all the clues because there's no reason not to. So G. Unless there's bonus points for not using all the clues.
No, I don't care. G is game length, and it is 30 to 50 minutes.
All right. All right. N.
What did you say?
N.
N is number of players, 3 to 5.
All right, I'm going to guess Cryptid.
You, my friend, are a beast.
Woo!
Beast
Actually,
it is.
Someone said Cryptid in the comments, and in that 30 to 50 minutes, I remember that being a Cryptid thing.
It is indeed 30 to 50.
I remember weird playing times, so sometimes.
Good job, Tom. Let's see.
I love this game. It's so much fun. All right.
Which letters did you not even use?
I didn't use R. What's R?
R was the rank on BGG.
All right.
Yeah, there's a couple you didn't need. Very well done. You win again.
Wait,
Huzzah!
before we go, I want to hear Cryptid backwards.
You got it.
I love these backwards clues. It's very different than when the Murph brothers do it. The brothers Murph. All right.
All right.
Well, that's our game show. Huzzah. Let's move on. There's still time to enter the contest.
Hey there everyone, it's Jen, the board game librarian, flipping some pages and pushing some cubes with my segment From the Page to the Table, where I pair a book and a board game that share a theme together. This week, it's kind of like coming home to my very first segment. Where I did The Last Kingdom and Uhtred, the board game. Oh no, wait, sorry. 878 Vikings by Academy Games. Both great, great book and great board game as well. High recommends. But we're going to continue that with its spiritual successor of sorts with The Pale Horseman by Bernard Cornwell, book 2 in the Saxon Tales. Here we are following Uhtred on the next part of his life's journey, where he is working with King Alfred, trying to beat back the Viking onslaught, really, that is invading England. But I will do Champions of Midgard, a classic now, right? By Grey Fox Games. Variable number of players depending on how many expansions you have, but a wonderful worker placement game where you are Vikings looking to settle a new village, looking to hunt, looking to go on raids, like you are in Pale Horseman, right? And looking to get a lot of silver and victory for Valhalla. The game really shines, of course, with all of its expansions, but you could certainly play it without those. We hadn't played this game in a really long time, and I was reminded how much I enjoyed it when we played it again. So if you have any games like that you hadn't played in a really long time and you've found renewed interest in, let me know in the comments below. That is all for this week. Hope you are watching The Last Kingdom, rooting for Uhtred, son of Uhtred, just like I am. Happy breakfast!
Hi everyone, welcome to Perfect Pairings. I'm Lexi from All Aboard Gamer, and today we're going to make creamy spinach stuffed salmon fillets. I've already prepared the salmon by cutting a slit, 4 ounces of cream cheese at room temperature, and 4 ounces of spinach, and a splash of lemon juice, about a tablespoon or a couple teaspoons of minced garlic, and we'll mix this all together and stuff it in our salmon. Before we stuff the salmon, we're going to rub some olive oil and salt and pepper, and we're going to use Berkey's Happy Meal seasoning.
So we like seafood.
Yes,
apparently.
very much. Yes.
So it's another seafood dish. It was actually quite simple.
Oh yeah.
And it tasted really, really good. We had it with sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes and a vegetable, yeah.
And a vegetable, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can pair it with whatever you want. But because we like seafood so much, and we seem to like where seafood comes from, which is the sea, we thought of Empires of the North. It's a standalone card game. It's very charming. The artwork, as you can see, is very cartoony, and
yeah, there's different clans. I like how each of the ships of the clan has a little bit of like their pattern, their clan pattern.
And if you're watching this now on Board Game Breakfast with the Dice Tower, if you want to check out the longer segment, you'll have to head over to our channel. The links will be showing right here. Thanks for coming all aboard, and enjoy your breakfast.
Well, hi everybody, I'm Doug Jr., and you're watching a Fellowship of Meeples. Here lately, there's been a lot of discussion about solo board gaming just due to the circumstances. Well, I want to continue that discussion just a little bit more and show you some of my favorites. Architects of the West Kingdom is a game that I really enjoy. This game has a solo AI that you play against that I have found to be very easy to understand, but also very challenging. Scythe is a game that I love, and it has a brilliant AI that I really enjoy playing. A little more complicated than some others, but once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. Plus, there is an app that can help you if you want to check out Scythekick. And do we even need to talk about this one right now? Probably not. Except to say this, that any fully cooperative game can usually be played solo as well. Tricarion is probably my all-time favorite solo game. The AI in this is absolutely brilliant. Takes a little bit of time to learn, but it pays off in big ways. Now, while these games have official solo variants, there are many unofficial solo variants that you can find as well. In fact, I would encourage you to check out BoardGameGeek.com, find your favorite game, and search and see if there is a solo variant that has been created by a fan. I've played fan-made solo variants for games like Azul, Century Spice Road, Star Realms, King Domino, and they're really, really good. Well, like many of you, I am also looking forward to the time when our gaming groups can gather together again around the table. But until then, consider some solo variants, have some fun, and be sure and stay safe and keep in touch. I'm Doug Jr. We'll catch you next time on A Fellowship of Meeples.
And that's the fuzzball. So, thank you, folks, for watching Board Game Breakfast. We appreciate it. I know that there's not a ton of videos going up from the Dice Tower, but next week is scheduled. It's coming back, I promise. Lots of different things. Hopefully you'll enjoy all of those. I appreciate everyone watching this. Don't forget to enter our contest. You're like, how do I enter? It's been mentioned several times in chat, and you can also slide back to the beginning of the episode. We'll announce the winners on our website, probably. That seems to be a good place to announce winners at this point in time, so keep an eye on Dicetower.com. Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
Have fun gaming.